Sakala, what?
No.
Welcome,
Hey.
welcome,
Órale.
welcome to Layman's World. I am Angel, King of Mediocrity Martinez.
Hello.
Joined as always by my Galaxian life mate, Eddie Nags. Eddie, say what's up to the people.
Hi, I'm not in camera today.
Too much sexy for the camera today. He decided he wanted to produce because we do have some very special guests for you guys today. Some of you might be looking at our show today and you're saying, hey, I know those guys. That's right. It's the guys from last week.
Yes.
We brought them on again because, to
Because
be
2020
honest,
keeps on happening.
TBH,
Yeah.
2020 just continues to happen. It continues to impose its fucking will on us, and we just need to keep talking about it. And we needed another 1.5 hours to do that. So thank you for everyone that might be joining us on the live. Thank you for everyone that watched last week and anyone that commented. Joining us in studio today, we've got the one, the only lover boy, Kenneth.
What's
Kenneth,
going
say
on,
hello.
guys? Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Anytime,
It's always
sir.
a pleasure.
Anytime. And actually joining us in studio this time, so that he doesn't sound like a crackhead robot,
Yeah.
we got the one and only BPGA.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
How
Call in the
are
building,
you?
baby.
You can actually hear my voice now.
Yes,
Nice,
we can.
Nice.
It's not all, hey, guys, what's going
The funny thing is that I was making out a lot of the things that you,
You
were
did
saying.
a really
Yeah.
fucking good job, dude,
Yeah.
because I heard it back and I was like, how the fuck did Angel do that?
I was listening and I'm like, okay. Like I picked it up a little bit. It took me a while to process, a little longer, but I did understand a lot of the things that you said. And going back home to my beautiful significant other, shout out Heather.
Aw.
She was telling me that she could faintly hear some of the things that you were saying, and she's like, God damn it! She's like, he's making good points, and it can't be heard.
Damn it.
So we've got you in studio today. So hopefully everything is on par today.
Hell yeah.
What a beautiful Sunday today has been. The Clippers have moved on to the next round. Moved on to the next round. Have taken out the Mavs. That's right. So I'm very excited by that. Congratulations to your bitch ass Lakers too, Bernie, who got it done in 5 just yesterday. So we can actually start with a couple things here. I made a joke at the end of last week's episode, and I said, let's run this back and let's do this again because we didn't cover enough ground last week. There were so many things that we wanted to talk about that we didn't get to discuss. And I said, cool, let's run this back again. Who knows what could happen between now and next week?
You shouldn't have said that, bro.
I shouldn't have fucking
No.
said that.
Yeah.
So you're not going to say that again.
I
right?
won't say it at the end of this episode. I will not test fate again. I'm sorry,
This is it,
2020.
folks.
My bad,
Yeah.
dog. All right? I apologize, okay?
Mhm.
Because holy shit, the things that have happened. I mean, number one, let's talk about the loss of a great Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick, yes.
So sad to see the King of Wakanda gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so sad to see that he was several years and never publicly announcing any of it, keeping it to himself, and he was dealing with it for about 4 or 5 years.
It was colon cancer?
I believe it was colon cancer, correct?
Mm-hmm.
The guy, even dealing with that ailment, gave us all the movies that he was in while he dealt with it. That's wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
man.
kept on that weight, too.
As long
Yeah.
as he
Yeah.
could. And people made fun of him online.
Yeah, there
Kinda
was
poked fun
there
at
was a
him.
couple instances where he released like a video,
Mm-hmm.
and people were like suggesting that he was like on drugs or
Right.
like he looked bad,
Right.
and like no one knew, you know.
No.
I mean, it takes it takes a lot for you not to admit that out to the world that you're going through something, and I feel like he probably just didn't want that attention or
Sure.
sympathy from people, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
that-
you never know, dude. You know, people keep things to themselves because they want to. And
Yeah.
when you live a life, you know, in the public eye, and you pretty much owe every minute of every day is owed to other people,
Yes.
right?
True.
You're on constant, people are constantly just keeping an eye on everything that you do, and it's all noted. Everything is, you're chased everywhere. Photographers, like, just everywhere, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
privacy
They're
is all they have.
Yeah, and so with something this major, I'm not surprised that he kept it to himself so that he could have something to himself. But what a brave soul.
Yeah,
You know,
for
what
sure.
a brave soul to have gone through that fight. to have kept it as tight as he did, because that means his entourage had to keep it quiet too.
Oh yeah.
That means his doctor had to shut the fuck up, right? There's a lot of people involved that had to keep that quiet. Like not just him personally, but his team, right? So credit to them for being able to do that. But how sad that right now, when America's black population is dealing with so much, that they've lost one of their heroes, someone that they can identify with, someone
But
that they
it
can
was.
see.
I felt like it went beyond that. I feel like he was like, he transcended just like Grace, because he was such a big like role model as Black Panther also, and like I wanted to be him. It's like it transcended all that. He was just like this figure of just like power, and just like he was honorable. And I know it was just his character, but he played it so well.
Right.
And everybody in America kind of realized it too, because they were all about it.
Yeah, and then his villain too, his arch enemy, Michael B. Jordan, did such a good job
Yeah.
as well.
For
Correct.
sure.
Where it was like, whoa, we had two great, strong black actors, and like they
Yeah.
both gave us an emotional fucking show, and I cried like a bitch in that movie a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. I cried so many times in that movie, and I was holding it in too. I wasn't expecting it to hit so fast. I'm like, oh shit, I'm already crying. Like what the hell? Yeah. Same thing with Coco. That shit got me.
Unrelated, but Coco, yeah, for sure. Coco always.
Coco low-key looks like my grandma, dude. So like,
Oh,
it was
no.
like, yeah, it definitely tug at the heartstrings for that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, and even with Michael B. Jordan's character, like you empathize with his character so much,
Yeah.
in that movie, and you almost feel bad for him. Like that he's the big bad, but with everything that he went through in that movie, to get where he was, you felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Because all he wanted to do was make right on his legacy,
Mhm.
right? That's all he really wanted, and to propel the society that he had come from, or that he was away from for so long. So
They definitely
it was
made
a
you.
tough one.
Yeah.
He was a tough one to hate. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Right.
Tough one to hate.
Mhm.
Yeah, you were rooting for him, kind of.
Correct.
Mhm.
I mean, Thanos too. Say what you will about me. He was a tough one to hate because he made a lot of good points. Like he really did.
I don't know.
He made a lot of good points.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just made a lot of good points, and it was tough. Like you just, like I said, you empathize with him. Am I gonna go out there and I'm gonna start taking out half the population?
You heard it here,
Absolutely
folks. He wants to take out half the population. it sounds like.
not. Spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it, that's your problem. But yeah, that's number one. Wow, what a roller coaster of a week. That's one thing.
Yeah.
We've got the Kenosha situation. I'm not sure if you guys are up on game with that. With the gentleman, I believe his name was Blake. What was it?
Jacob.
Jacob Blake. Sorry about that. Jacob Blake shot in the back 7 times as he was evading police, trying to get back into his truck with his 3 kids inside. Police officers had tried to hold him back as much as they could and were unable to. He finally got away from them after being tased, tried to get into his truck, and got shot from point blank range 7 times in the back. Horrible. Absolutely awful. As a result of a lot of major sports associations decided to take a stand and take a break and postpone their games, pretty much postpone all of their business endeavors because of that situation. And that was a hard one for a lot of people. People got rubbed the wrong way by that. There was people who were upset by that.
It's
that the
kinda funny.
players took a stand.
Yeah. Obviously, it's kind of hard not to know this story, because if you're on any type of social media, it's all over the place. But what I find disturbing, I don't know if you guys like scroll through the comments, but it's just a consensus of like people just talking like the most mad shit, and all of them that are talking shit are like white people like supporting the cops, and like they don't see the point of view where like they had just so much ample opportunity to tackle the guy,
Right.
to do something.
Right.
Like they walked around the car with him for a couple times before he went into his car.
Correct.
Why didn't they try tasing him? It was 2 of them. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
They even grabbed him
He-
first and pulled.
That's
They,
what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
they could have just started punching right there.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they
What
have
happened to the
batons,
sticks?
too,
They
right?
used to
Yeah.
love beating
You
us
know?
with sticks.
Yeah.
What the hell,
I think
man?
we all could have lived with.
Beat
like,
us with sticks again,
the
please.
funny
Bring back the sticks.
Dude, for real, something.
I would have
man.
never thought that I would have ever said the words that I would prefer to have seen a beating. I
Yeah,
don't think
dude.
that I would have ever uttered those words. But that is the reality that we live today. Is that's the latter. That is the lesser of two evils.
Mm-hmm.
And at least with that, the guy would have survived. That his children would still have a father, and who knows?
And he would have maybe learned his lesson.
Yeah, probably.
And to my knowledge, they still haven't said that that there was a knife. Allegedly, he
It
might
was
have been going for a
alleged.
what, right?
He garnished one. This is what they're
But
saying.
inside the car, there was reports of him having one, but they weren't sure, right?
No. So they released pictures of his shirt being lifted and
Mm-hmm.
something being in his waistband, but it ended up not being true. There was no weapon.
Okay.
To my knowledge, there still was no weapon.
Yeah.
If there's a report out there that says otherwise, if you've got proof, go ahead and hit us on the chat. You can go ahead and DM us at Layman's Word. Let us know, because we seek truth around here. We want to know. I'm not going to be set in my ways just because I see something a certain way. As more information comes to me, I'm willing to change my mind, which is totally different from the general U.S. population. So you were talking about comments, and I find it so interesting that a lot of people that I know got up in arms about, sports associations taking their breaks,
Mm-hmm.
and they're more outraged by that than the killing of another black male.
Yeah.
And let's just say this, the killing of another American male. Can
For
we
sure.
say that?
For sure.
Because oftentimes just calling the victim by their race or describing them by their race maybe adds to the problem,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Because we're playing the label game.
Yeah.
The
and
thing
these
is-
colors
correct.
bear no roots to any land.
correct,
There's no black land. There's no white land.
right.
There's Spain. There's Spain. Hispania. Right.
Yeah, and like
There's Italy.
Angel said, and if we're Americans, why does it have to be like a color in the beginning of the sentence first? It should just be like Jacob Blake was shot. You
Correct.
know? And it's like,
Correct.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is that so back to
Fuck the census.
yeah, back to what I was saying earlier, is that there's so many people up in arms about sports taking a break, yet not a word was said about this person getting shot at all. And so when a lot of us have options every single solitary day with social media. We choose to share, right?
Mhm.
So you see something that intrigues you, you like it. If it really, really speaks to your soul and touched you in a way that nothing else has, you are compelled to want to share that with others. You are. If you have an opinion, a strong one that you feel that other people should listen to, you voice it. But these are all decisions that we make each and every solitary day. And there's no such thing as an accidental post. There just isn't. You choose to do that. You know how the buttons work. You know how your cell phone works. Everybody knows what they're doing when they do it.
Yeah.
So when you put a piece of information out there, or when you put, when you start talking about a subject, make sure that you start talking about that subject at the root. And so this particular situation started with that shooting. That's the root. That's how we got here. And a lot of things have happened after that because of that root. So that is our problem. And that's what needs to be fixed. Is that right there. Let's get away from the fact that it is a black man being shot. Somebody got shot by the police. Can we just say that? Someone was shot point blank range by the police.
Seven
That's
times.
not okay.
Seven
Doesn't
times.
matter to me if more white people are shot in America every day. That doesn't matter to me.
If that
They
switch
shouldn't
ever
be shot either.
happens, the news isn't gonna have any more news.
That's the thing. Is it's so tough to talk about these kind of things, and it's hard to really put forth change because so many people are just stuck on color, and they just don't see it that way.
You know what we gotta do?
Tell me.
We gotta turn off the television.
I think so. I think you're right.
Stop
man.
watching the news because they're biased.
It is. It's true. It's a fact.
Just don't turn off YouTube. We need the views.
And news is labeled as entertainment, so
At
they
this
don't have to
point.
tell us the truth.
Yeah. It used to be the responsibility of a journalist to tell you the truth,
Right.
to find facts, to interview people, to get to the bottom of things, and then
To
report.
ask questions.
To ask questions and then report. And it was also the responsibility of most newspapers or just most media that if they made a mistake, they would transparently edit another cut, put out another segment, and say, "Hey, we got this wrong. This is actually what happened." But too much nowadays. People do that. They say that. They say the wrong things knowingly, and then they just move on. They just replace it with something else more outlandish.
They don't fix their error.
They don't. They just move on because let's face it, no one's going back, right? No one's going back in the moment and checking them. But I find it funny though that now most people are. They're going back. They're seeing all the things that were said by conservatives 10 years ago, right? Or going back in any politician that's running for office. Like, what's on your catalog from?
Or even Donald Trump. If you go back and look at his old interviews and listen to what he was saying back then, you'd be surprised.
I just love that he on, what was it, an Oprah Winfrey interview that he was on, where he was talking about if he were to run for president, that he would probably run Republican because the people are stupid and they'll believe anything you tell them. It's in an Oprah interview. He said it live on TV. Like, that's what he said. And look at what happened. He did it. The guy fucking did it.
I saw another one where he called it a dirty job. He's like, I don't know if I would want to be president. It's a dirty job.
It's true. It's true. I personally have just been, dealing with a lot of personal matters. And everything that I see online has just been so negative. There hasn't been a lot of positive out there, and I don't know how to feel about the future, because in an instant people can get so ugly.
100%. 100%.
And it's hard to pull someone out of that hole once they're in so deep.
Yeah.
It really is hard to convince. I'm not even trying to convince them otherwise. I just want them to see from a different point of view, if they could, because if they were able to, everybody would be speaking a different tone. But
big time.
It's so hard, man. It's so hard. How can you care about things that don't affect you?
Yeah.
Right? How can you? How are they ever gonna see? How are any of these people ever gonna see the problem if it doesn't affect them at all whatsoever? So, it's wild.
But it's affecting the sports now, so now they care. So.
You know what's funny about that?
My entertainment. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is
and,
this?
And that's the thing, is that they get so, oh, this is not a fucking soapbox. And I'm like, yes, it fucking is.
Yeah.
It is a soapbox. It's the biggest one there is on the fucking planet. You're talking about international sports.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about somebody looking at their boss and saying, "No, fuck that. I'm not working."
Like we said in the last episode, Kobe Bryant was the trumpet that was heard around the world.
Dude.
Yeah.
The whole world stopped for a second.
Yeah. Oh.
The whole world stopped for a second. It did. And so you can't say, like, we put so much importance on sports. We put so much priority in sports. So much. People are more devoted and loyal to their sports teams than they are their spouses. That's a fact.
True.
That's a fact.
Yeah, true.
You find me one person that switched teams in his lifetime. You know anybody? You can't even think of one.
Nah.
Not one. So it's crazy. We put a lot of importance in our sports. It's important to us as Americans. It's important, be it a distraction, be it just something that inspires us to do better, whatever it may be. For you personally, we look at it as a form of entertainment, and we enjoy it. And we enjoy watching it. And so when it's taken away from us, man, we get bothered by that. Did it bother me? Absolutely not, because I know why it's stopping. I understand it. I'm empathetic. I've never had a situation with police that I've ever thought that my life was in danger. That has never happened to me. Does it stop me from believing other people? Does it stop me from thinking that some people have a target on their back no matter what they do? It does not. That happens, and I see that, and I'm empathetic to that situation, which is why I feel the way I feel. But if you can't see that at all, and you're choosing to only see your reality, man, that's not a team player at all.
It would be fine if they were just not choosing to see and they were like quiet about it, but they get so angry, like even with just the
Seriously.
sports, and it doesn't even like stop at sports. It's like, as far as the music industry goes, like there are so many people that have been outspoken, and just this flood of hate comments with people just saying stay in your lane, like
Shut up and sing, bitch.
Yeah, shut up and sing. Like, you're an entertainer. We don't hear that. Like, we didn't come here for this shit. Like, shut
Right.
your mouth, this and that. And so many artists in the EDM community have, like, lost a ton of followers.
Oh, wow.
And I personally have lost a lot of followers just because I always post.
No way.
Yeah, I've lost, I think in 2020, I think like a good, like almost, I think 2,000.
That's crazy,
Damn.
bro.
I think a good 2,000.
I don't even think I'll ever make it to 2,000.
Shit, same here, right? My max was like 120.
But you know what though? It's like good riddance to me. It's like I don't need those kind of people.
No,
you know,
not at all.
I
Not at
feel.
all.
And this is kind of going off in a tangent, but I feel
No.
like the
Go,
rave.
this
yeah,
show?
yeah.
Go.
On
The
this
rave.
show?
Yeah.
Go.
Run it.
The rave community is all about being one people. You know.
Correct.
I feel it's like
Facts.
it like took so much roots from like the reggae community and like of just being one love, one people, the plur, like
cohesiveness, dude.
energy, you know.
Absolutely.
And these people don't see
The
that.
fucking,
yeah.
there's a hand
Yeah.
hand sign you do.
Yeah,
I remember
bro.
you guys taught me that shit when I went
These
to EDC.
people, yeah, they don't get that. They don't see
No.
that their political views kind of conflict with that, you know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like weird to me just how people are reacting to people reacting in sports and in music. Like it makes
Yeah.
no sense to me.
You're judging people's reactions.
Yeah.
To things.
Exactly.
And it
Ah.
just doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah.
why do you feel so strongly about how they feel?
Yeah.
Ah. Let
Right?
people
For sure.
react how they're gonna react.
Let them react how
Yeah.
they're gonna react. How do you feel about that situation? That's one thing. You're allowed to feel however it is that you want. But why are you getting upset about the way they feel?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I was just speaking to someone earlier this week. And we were discussing realities. They were trying to figure out, and this is another subject that we'll jump into. They were trying to figure out how anyone could deny that child sex trafficking is real.
Right.
And I'm like, because much like, COVID, there are people out there who just don't believe it. They deny it because it's not their reality. They've not experienced it firsthand, not through a family member, not through a friend, not through anyone close to them or, near them, so that they have not experienced that in their lifetime. So because they haven't experienced it, it's not real to them.
Mm-hmm.
And as we continue going on to every social media platform, we continue to like, we continue to share, right? We continue to follow certain pages that give us what we like. Oh, this is a good one. I like this one. And so what happens? We tend to, the algorithm is so good, it continues feeding us over and over again. The stuff that we are so into, it supports our view 100%, and
True.
you see more and more and more people that think and
You're same
and
way.
do just like you,
Echo chamber.
and
Yeah.
so your ego gets out of control,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not about whether you're woke or not, or intelligent or it's not about that. It's just that certain people can't control their ego, and all the information being given to them just further supports their ego, and it's hard to talk them down when their head is so massively huge. It's hard, and that's on any side of the aisle, period. Doesn't matter who you talk to.
No
Because
matter,
that's
there's a
the crazy
topic
part.
where you will find your ego will come out. You just have to find that topic and you'll
For
find
sure.
it.
Correct.
More so in the internet world where people just feel like they could say whatever the fuck they want.
People are so rude to each other online, and you can tell that these people have never been like smacked up.
That's one thing that I feel like you learn growing up in LA or growing up just like in going to public school. Like you can't say that type of shit, you know?
No.
Yeah.
You can't say that type
No.
of shit without getting like knowing that you might take a beating
Yep.
or like worse, you know?
Yeah.
So you develop this kind of respect for what you say to people, you know?
Yes.
And people don't get that. Like in other parts of the world, they just feel like they can say whatever the fuck they want, honestly.
Social justice warriors or keyboard warriors, right? Like those kind of people.
Twitter fingers.
Twitter fingers, I like that. That's good. Thank you, Eddie. Don't get me wrong.
Twitter fingers
You know-
turn to trigger fingers.
Oh.
That's a Drake. That's a Drake line, right?
How written now?
No.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It's like we're saying, right? Like, okay, so like personally, like me, I went to school at a predominantly black school for 2 years. It's like 95% black and 5% everything else that you can imagine. And so it was very, very difficult for me to make friends when I first got there. It was super duper hard. Because my way of making friends was always trying to fit in and just trying to my best to acclimate in the best way that I could. And the only way that I could really do that is by quote unquote acting black. That was the only way that I knew how. And so when I started doing that stuff, because I was such a good mimic when I was younger, I was able to mimic different voices and do different things. Apu from The Simpsons, you know what I mean? Like I was always able to do that kind of stuff. And so I was trying so desperately to be a part of something, and it ended up being I backfired miserably. You can imagine why.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I got
You're like,
into
what
a
up, my
lot-
nigga?
No.
I got into so many scuffles. I got beat up once or twice.
No.
It just a lot of things, and then it just became. I lived around just kind of race baiting. Everything was always what it crumbled down to was race. There was no cohesiveness where I went to school. Eventually, I got over that. I got over trying to do that, and I made friends and I was there. But it's something that I had to learn. Like,
Be
I had
yourself,
to
people.
learn-
Be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, like when they're online and they're doing these things, they just fight. They take the animosity and they just give more animosity. There's no
Oh yeah, for
understanding.
sure. Yeah.
There's none whatsoever. When people get real hot with me, I try not to insult. That's the one thing. I
Personally
never,
insult, yeah.
Just even I don't know them personally. They're just a person online.
Oh, okay.
But I don't talk shit to them. Like I don't. There's so many people that jump onto other people's like pages.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
they
they just
do.
start attacking
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
who
You
they
s- you
are.
stick to
what
the
they
point.
do.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, you're getting away from the conversation. Let's stick
Right.
to the conversation
Stick
of
to
what
the
we're
point.
talking about. And it's just so crazy. Like I don't do that. Like I'm very respectful with people. You know what I mean? It's something that I learned to do is to be respectful.
Yeah.
But you can tell that some of these, keyboard warriors or Twitter fingers have never had situations like that.
They've never been beat up.
They've just, it's never happened to them.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
they're on there now. They've made it, and they've got their opinion, right? Their continuous
And they
egotistic
got their
opinion.
followers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they just keep spewing, and it's so negative, dude. It's so negative. Why can't we all?
That's why I
just
have
get along.
I have this thing where I'll keep scrolling and I won't stop scrolling until I find a positive comment. And then I'll read the positive comment and it'll leave me like on a good note. Okay, I'm like, okay, there's some good in the world still, and then I'll move on, you know?
So much
But-
time in your hands.
Page 43.
I know. I need that positivity. At day 5 of scrolling, I found the positive comment.
You know what, dude? I'm gonna help you out. I'm just gonna
I can rest
find
now.
those positive comments to help you out, dude.
That's what's up, dude.
Tag you in them too.
Here,
can't
Dick, go to
wait.
sleep, fool.
The first thing. I'm gonna just go post a GIF, and it's just gonna be a plus sign, just like positive. It's hard.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Okay.
That's some good shit, man.
Takes a whole week
Yeah.
to find a positive. There's a positive.
Yeah.
So we
It makes me feel comfortable. Like, all right, there's someone good out there still. Like, it's fine. We're good still. you know?
Yeah. Well, see, so check this out. Like, we were talking about social circles earlier, before we came on live, and I like to keep certain company, I personally, right? And if we have different views, that's okay. But can we talk about those views? Can we really discuss those views, or is it gonna get turned into an argument? Are we gonna get loud? And are we just gonna be talking over each other?
Yeah, because people don't know the difference between a discussion and an argument. And there's
Correct.
a huge difference. You
Right,
know?
right.
I like discussing things. Like,
Sure.
yeah, it's fucking dope.
And I might not agree with what you have to say, but doesn't mean that we're gonna get intense about it. Like I just let's discuss. Maybe you know something that I don't, and that's why you feel so strongly about it.
Yeah.
And after this conversation, I'd have learned that,
Mhm.
and maybe it might change my mind. But so many people go in dead set on their opinion that they're unwilling. They're unwilling to listen. They can't. It's
Yeah,
it's
most
actually
people
said-
don't want to listen, sadly.
and
Yeah.
it's actually said like if physically, like the body physically, when it is speaking, it is harder to hear.
Of
Just
course.
because when your
Yeah.
mouth is open, it makes it harder to hear because your ear canal kind of closes a little bit. So how can we listen to each other, right? If all we're doing is like talking at each other, right? You have to be able to give a little to get a little, right? You can't just tune out when someone else is talking to you. You got to really take that information in
Yeah.
instead of having your next opinion you know.
Two
in the
people
holster,
arguing
ready
looks
to
like
go.
some caveman shit. Like
It
when you
just-
stop and
it's
think
hard.
about it.
Was it Brian? Brian from Family Guy? Whose opinion is this, by the way?
We should do a different YouTube series, just like recording like people arguing, but it'll be like Neanderthals in the city.
Fuck you, Kyle.
So junior producer Bryant says, COVID-19 is real, but it seems that our government is using it as a scare tactic to hide the pedophilia ring, since it involves a lot of current people in power.
Ooh wee.
I would agree.
Yes.
100%.
certain extent.
100% agree.
Because the COVID issue is not such an issue in other countries. Why are we all of a sudden
I mean, it is a flu.
a
It was already
record-breaking country?
the coronavirus was already on our Clorox wipes
Right.
before they even told anybody about it. Like nobody knew it existed,
Thank you, Brian.
and they already were protecting us from it.
There's a
It was just
Netflix show from
yeah.
like 2017 that featured it, and it was part of the dialogue. They were discussing that someone had coronavirus, and they were describing the symptoms. So it existed already, just not,
To the extent that it
to
does.
the extent that it is now.
Or-
And the question is, why does it exist to the extent that it is now? And that's a pretty damn good point. So on to our next topic, child sex trafficking. We talked a little bit about it. We talked about,
And a lot's happened this week.
Epstein, and whoa, I was blown away. They found 39 missing kids in Georgia in a
What?
double wide trailer.
Yep.
What the
39.
fuck? Where?
And
In
this
Georgia?
that's the problem.
Georgia.
That it's not news. Like, why isn't
It's
big news?
It is not being covered by the mainstream media, and it has to make you wonder why.
No.
Yeah.
COVID is
Why?
popular.
Like, it makes this should be the biggest story. Like, right now, there's 40 fucking kids that they found.
Correct.
Like, they were all missing,
That's horrible.
all
I'll
kidnapped.
tell you one more you won't hear.
That should make the nation
You-
fucking
you think
uproar.
you think
Yeah.
that's horrible? You think that's horrible? That was a couple days ago. You think that's horrible? Today, this morning, today,
Mhm.
140
No.
were found in
No.
Australia. 140.
The 140 does include people that came forward like later, but
Yeah.
still though, like
Still.
it's still.
There's only like
shit.
600 people in Australia. What the fuck?
all right.
I'm
Some
just
of
kidding.
them are kangaroos. I'm
God
sorry. Some
damn,
of them
no,
are
that's
kangaroos.
fucking.
Yeah,
Start a joke, but fuck, dude. The hell?
140 is all, and this
That's wild.
That's a lot of fucking people.
this
That's
included like
wild.
internet fucking pedophiles like grooming kids since they were like 12 years old. Like, it's fucking insane.
It's sad when they're born into it.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
And they've never known any other existence. It's fucking sad. It really is.
And it's like we were speaking about this earlier, but the Australian government had been telling people that the child sex trafficking was like a conspiracy, this
Right.
and that, and
Right.
then this blows up, and it's like, holy fuck, like that's just real, man, and it's a global problem,
Right.
not just U.S.
Correct.
Wait,
And then
where?
it makes you
Yeah.
wonder.
That was crazy too.
Well, it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder, right? So you're talking about, you look at the Republicans and you look at the Democrats, and what was one of their arguments that they were having earlier in the year, or I think even just over the last few years, was build the wall, right? Build the wall was such a big argument.
The stupidest conversation of all time.
Right. And so the idea was, to keep, illegal immigrants outside of here, blah blah blah, this and that, right? Like that.
Don't they know we got tunnels already?
that was the
Like, what the
idea.
fuck?
There's underground cities under America. already,
Yeah.
bro.
Correct. So you're not gonna stop them
They
with
got
a wall.
everything: pools,
You're
jacuzzis,
just not gonna stop them with the
markets,
wall.
plants growing. They got a zoo down there.
Hell yeah, hell
For
yeah,
reals.
dude. No, dude, and then America, like the United States, also has like a treasury, like you know what I mean, like several stories underground. It's the same thing. It's its own city. All the people that work there are inhabitants of it. They live there, right? Like, and it's crazy.
And
It's
check this
super duper
out:
crazy.
those underground cities existed before Europeans came over here.
Wow.
Before the Europeans and Spanish came over here,
I have
Native
read that.
Americans from South and North America all have stories of
Yeah.
people from space and people underground.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
There's traces all around the world of history where they say that there was a race of people that existed underneath like caverns in the earth, and this is like a worldwide thing. Like, it's not just like in one center place. And Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, I believe it. Like, there's all these like mile-long tunnels in Egypt, like underneath the plateau, that it's common knowledge, but they don't really say it, you know, which is like why?
Because they want to keep that stuff to themselves.
Yeah.
Period. You know, like the general public is probably like 25, maybe 30 years
Mhm.
behind on technology than the government is,
Mhm.
because they're going to keep all the shiny toys for themselves. And when the market starts getting stale and they need something new and innovative and something that's going to sell, they say,
Mhm.
"Oh, I release. I'll tell you what. Put the drones out. Let them get drones. Just fuck it. Let them have it. Let
Mhm.
them have the drones." And then we'll start seeing some of that tech, and especially when they find a way, like it takes a lot of money to reverse engineer something, right?
Yeah.
A shit ton of study, a lot of research, right? But once you've done it, now what you need to do is mass produce it. And how do you mass produce? You're not going to start selling that stuff right away. You got to figure out how to mass produce at low cost.
Mhm.
And once they figure that out and get their patents in order, now we can have it. So it's crazy, dude. It's wild how late to the game we think we always are.
Or what, 50
Mhm.
years behind or 30 years behind?
It's something
I'm
along
pretty sure
that
it's
range.
beyond that now already. We have to be like 100 years like behind what's actually available, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so back to what I was saying about the wall, right? We were talking about children and
Mhm.
child sex trafficking. This was just a thought that I had. All right, is you have Trump pushing for this wall to keep immigrants out. You have Democrats that were pushing to destroy that wall. You also had Democrats, pushing to free the kids in cages, right? Because there's kids in cages right now. And there was something ridiculous of like over 1,000 kids that just went up missing. We
Yeah.
just lost them.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, we lost them.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I wonder, how is it that those children ended up at those detention centers? Because let's be honest with ourselves, those detention centers were all developed during the Obama administration. That's a fact.
Mhm.
That's a fact, right? And the people that are pushing to keep our borders open are the Democrats, correct?
Mhm.
The Democrats were also the ones that came up with the Dreamers Act, right? Stay with me.
And the Democrats
Okay.
were the ones
Stay with
also
me.
in Africa and in Haiti.
Stay with
Mhm.
me. So the Dreamers Act, what is the Dreamers Act? It's a way for illegal immigrants to sign up so that they can stay here, study, right, and just live the American dream, right? So long as they follow certain rules.
Mhm.
But what do they do when they sign up for that? They tell you who they are, they tell you where they are, and how many of us there are, right? So then you switch from one administration to the next, and all of a sudden, ICE is hunting every single one of them down
Mhm.
because they're overturning the Dreamer Act. And it's crazy because then you went out and you collected all these people and you've got them there, and now this child sex trafficking thing is pretty fucking bizarre. It gets crazy. So I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, there's some wild things going on at the moment, and children are at the base of a lot of these things, and it's fucking scary.
And it's going on right now as
It's
we're talking
fucking
about
scary.
Exactly.
Whether you
this. That's
choose
fucking really scary.
the fact that there's people, what bothers me is that there's people out there that, first of all, children are defenseless. They don't have very many choices. They don't. Doesn't matter where they're from. Most of the time, anything that they physically get themselves involved with is because someone else brought them to that point. So when you talk about immigration, their parents brought them with them to this land, right? They dragged them along, carried them on their backs, however the fuck it is that they got them over here, they brought them. It wasn't because they wanted to. It's because they said, hey, this is what we're doing now, and this is what we're going. And so it saddens me when I hear people, well, they shouldn't have been coming across the border anyway. That's why they are where they are. Maybe their parents should have been more responsible.
Mhm.
But I don't think that people realize what they deal with in their home countries.
They have no idea.
They just don't.
They don't.
They've got no idea how
Mm-mm.
much rape, right? How much murder.
And those
they
people
just
make
don't
Starvation.
do.
those people
Starvation.
making those dumb comments too need to understand is they that's why we have these detention centers, because we are trying to let them in, but there's a process, and that
Sure.
process is a long process, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who don't want that shit happening in the first place. So
Right.
there's so many bad things going on all at once.
No, 100%.
Trying to stop good.
It's red tape. Like at the end of the day, it's all red tape, and things that you're allowed to do, not allowed to do, right? And who gets approved, who doesn't get approved, and then who the fuck decides who gets approved and who doesn't, right? It's wild. Like I personally have had an employee or two,
that I've employed that were illegal when they got here, and I gave them the job anyway.
Mhm.
Hope this doesn't get me in trouble, but I gave them a job anyway.
You're gonna be
And,
fired tomorrow.
It's fine. If that's the reason why I'm fired, like, I mean, come on. The thing is, though, is that eventually they both became citizens, right?
Mhm.
Like, they both became citizens. They did it right. They did it legally, and good on them. But did you need me to speak into the mic? All right. Thank you, Eddie. Should I get away from it or closer? Should I get closer?
That's fine. Yeah.
Closer.
Yeah.
Should I get a lot closer? All right. Eddie's over here trying to get intimate with me. with the mic.
I was trying not to break your train of thought.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. But yeah, it's wild to me, everything that's going on. And again, children are at the base of it, and it's scary. And what it comes down to is the people that have those opinions or say those things is, again, a lack of empathy.
Mhm.
They could never imagine. It's so funny to hear someone tell someone that looks like me, if you don't like it, leave. Go
Mhm.
to another country then, if you don't like it. Yet people from other countries who don't like it and leave and try to come here, fuck no, go back to your country. Like, you have such a stance on that in one way or another, but it doesn't work both ways, and it doesn't make sense. It just
Mhm.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the very first person who made the fucking said the phrase "get out of my country" is an illegal immigrant themselves.
Oh, for
Correct.
sure.
Correct. And that's unfortunately because I feel like we glorify the wrong parts of American history, and you end up learning real American history once you're out of public school. Once you're out of public school, that's where teachers start challenging you to really look into situations for what they really are.
Mhm.
Right, and you start seeing things that were like, man, Thanksgiving was not the business, like,
Mhm.
and we still celebrate that shit,
Yeah. for
right?
sure.
Like Columbus Day is celebratory here.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
It's because people don't break the cycle, and it's trippy to me
Yeah.
because Irish had a really hard time when they first got here.
Correct.
Italians had a really hard time when they first got
Also
here.
correct.
And now, like, you hear like Irish Americans speaking like they've always been here, and they're like don't want any more immigrants here, and like I don't know what the fuck. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
It
Like,
doesn't
why
make
why don't
sense.
they break the cycle? They knew they had a hard time. Like,
Right.
right now it's obviously Hispanic, but Hispanic were the Italians back then, and then they were the Irish back then. If people would just open their minds a little, like, this country is founded upon immigrants, period.
Correct.
You know?
You know, they did a 23andMe kind of little YouTube video, and it was so interesting to watch because you took like 25, maybe 30 people from different parts of the country, different parts of the world, 25 to 30 people. And all of those people ended up looking at their lineage and seeing, you know, kind of from what parts of the world, you know, their lineage comes from. And so many people were surprised to find out what was in their blood, in their genes, to see that, you know, you've got descendants, you know, from Eastern Europe and you know, like Egypt, if you will. Like they were just
Yeah.
thrown back by all of that information.
Yeah, I
and
took mine and I was like, oh, what?
isn't it wild though,
share,
right?
share with us, Bernie, what you got going on in your blood.
Tell them what you thought you were.
I thought
First.
I was Mexican, Italian, and Filipino,
Okay.
Boom.
but I European, so I am Italian and Spanish, African, and Native American. and
Nice.
Mexican,
Boom.
yeah.
Nice.
So
Boom.
Did
yeah.
you get in touch with your tribe now?
No, but through my research, I'm right here. I'm already with my tribe.
No.
This is our land, baby. We
Hey,
been
what's your
here.
tribe
That's
name,
what's
bro?
up.
What would your tribe name be?
I don't know.
Man.
Mixed bastards.
Oh, we're all just mixed, dirty, man.
This is our land, baby.
That's
For
right.
sure.
We been here,
Yeah.
cuz.
That's right. You know what else? I'll tell you another funny story that I saw online, which was hilarious. So there's an Italian family. I think they were like from Jersey, and the father of that family was like super Italian, you know, like super, like just, you know, over exaggerated Italian pasta,
Don't-
you know, like
No.
just super Italian.
Don't get
And they
stereotypical,
did a
bro.
23andMe only to find out that their great grandmother, who had come to America, had come with falsified records.
No
Yeah, she came illegally because, and she didn't want anyone to know where she came from because because she had a criminal background, and she lied about where she came from. So she told everyone she was Italian.
Where was she from?
I don't remember. That I
No!
don't remember. I'm
Okay.
sorry, but I don't
These
remember.
are facts we need.
I'm sorry. I truly don't remember
That's a
whereabouts she was
cliffhanger,
from.
I know.
But she came. She told everyone she was Italian. Everybody bought it,
She was
right?
from Japan,
and just,
I guess.
And just that's it. Her family just became Italian, and so the entire lineage ended up being false.
Damn.
Yeah, not a single one of them was Italian. So you think about it,
Damn.
right? This guy with this accent, right? Who learned how to talk like that, right? Like that's his.
Yeah.
That's just who he is. It's his persona,
Yeah.
right? And so now you're not Italian. You're just white. So you
Interesting.
continue talking like that. It's you. It's been you
Yeah.
for 50 years now. It's been you. But now you know that's not you at all.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a mind fuck, my
All their
friend.
friends knew when they went to go eat at her house. That shit was not
Something's
good.
off about this sauce.
Yeah,
How you
shit
feel
was
about
not
this
good.
sauce? This
Yeah.
ain't sauce. You call this sauce?
Yeah, dude, it's fucked up. Like me growing up, everybody was always call me black, and I'm like, I'm not black. And I'd go home and ask my mom.
I don't
I'm
know,
not
man. That
black.
fro
And
says
they're like, no, you're
otherwise,
not
my
black.
friend.
That's
You're Filipino.
heartbreaking.
And I'll go ask my dad, am I black? He's like, no, grandma says we're Filipino. I'm like, okay.
All right.
So we found out grandma lied.
Grandma's a liar.
Shit.
But yeah, I found out I took this test like 2 years ago, maybe.
Trip.
So I'm fucking.
It had to be more than
I'm
that.
32, dog. Like,
Hey,
it
how
took,
much was it?
Took that. I bought a 2-pack for like $110 or some
Okay.
shit.
I want to
Yeah.
get a dip into that. I'll be done.
Heather has
And then
one
check
sitting
this
at
out.
home that she
I
hasn't
bought
taken
one for
yet.
my uncle because we thought he was Italian from my other side,
Mhm.
and it turns out he's Costa Rican from
Ooh.
another side.
Oh, shit.
Damn.
What? So 23andMe is ruining Thanksgivings and Christmases because the truth is coming out. Can't lie no more, Grandma. Grandma's been
That's
holding up lies for all these
crazy.
years.
I know.
No more.
No
We got
more.
receipts.
That is crazy. That's so wild, bro.
Yeah.
That's too wild.
It felt good though to fucking finally lay it to rest, even though everybody else knew. Like
Right.
telling me my whole life since I'm a kid.
You're like coming up to family members. Did you know? You're like, oh yeah, I knew. Oh, Bernie, we've been knowing. We just don't want to tell you, dog. That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, man.
So fucked up.
But yeah, but like just right that alone, like fucking the race game, the whole labeling,
Mhm.
coloring
Yeah.
people,
Mhm, mhm.
and the people who were calling me black were other Mexicans,
True.
and they were dark as me.
You know what? That's the
But-
that's
but
a
just because I have curly hair,
that's a big
it's like,
issue.
oh, you're
Bro,
black.
do
Right,
do you
right,
do you know what my nickname in high school is with all the homies?
negro.
Negra, fool.
Aw,
Not
what?
only would they call me
Oh,
black,
I forgot
fool,
about
they would call
that.
me black chick.
Wow. That's yeah.
Like, that was my nickname, dude. After the song by Caifanes, La Negra Tomasa.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that was like anytime that song would play, they would be like, "Hey, fool, it's you, dog." You know, like, but it's just funny, like the race baiting is real.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
it
It's
is. It's
programmed
true.
from children, dog.
It
It
is.
is.
It's
It's
learned behavior.
children.
It
Super
is.
learned behavior. Because you can take two kids, I don't care what creed or color they are, right? You can take two kids, you put them in a room, and they're gonna play.
Yeah.
They just are. It's gonna happen. They'll be like, "Oh
All these
shit,
ideals develop later.
this one's my size, sweet," right? And then they start playing. But all this stuff that keeps happening, it's all everybody's learning it, and it's crazy because right now, children have a hard time keeping their kids away from what they're watching, what's on the tube for them, watching network news, doing whatever it is that they're whatever it is that they're doing, and the kids are right there watching it with them.
You be seeing the
We
kids at
shouldn't
the
be.
protest, dude,
Yeah,
holding "fuck the police" signs.
that's not right.
Yeah, bro, little
They're like
babies.
they're like 6 or 7 years old holding those signs, and it's like, bro, you can't get them involved like that.
Yeah.
Like, they're not old enough. Hey, you shut your mouth, asshole. They're not old enough to have an opinion like that
Police,
yet.
cuz.
Come on now. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's things are too wild right now, and all these things that we're talking about, shit, guys. We're like an hour and 10 minutes into this conversation, and we've only talked about this week.
We might have to do a part 3.
Oh shit!
Oh, God damn it! God damn it! Producer Eddie has reminded me though that I did forget about talking about one point. Another thing that happened this week. Kyle Rittenhouse,
Yes.
I believe is his name.
Fuck
Doesn't
that,
really
dude.
matter. This guy, holy moly,
Rittenberg or some shit.
something like that.
Comply, huh?
Something like that. So this guy shot one person. Then as soon as he shot the person, went to go get a medic. On his way to go get a medic, you got to give him that. As soon as he shot the guy, he went to go get a medic right away. As he was going to get a medic, two other guys chased him down. One pushed him, and another one swung at him with a skateboard and hit him in the head. As he's down on the ground, trying to defend himself, he did the one thing that, let's be honest, anyone else in that position probably would have done as well. He pointed his gun right at these guys, and he shot, not sure where, but he shot towards them and in their direction. He shot one of them, I believe, right in the chest, and the guy died on the scene. And he shot another guy who was holding a pistol. He shot him right through his forearm.
There's conflicting stories though. The
Are
one that
they?
you portrayed, the one that you portrayed right now, it's like what he said happened, and there's other people that were there saying that he was antagonizing the whole time basically. And
Right.
after he shot that first person, like people were just trying to get the gun away from him. Obviously, if you're in a crowd and you see something like that happen,
Yeah.
you're gonna want to get the gun away from this person.
True.
You know? Feel like that's a priority. And to people say it was self-defense, it's just like that's a shitty thing to say. And that's beside the point. He walked by police with that shit, with his hand
Right.
still on the fucking near the trigger.
Right. And so this is the issue. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I wanted to get to that because there's sadly a friend of the family growing up with actually was one of my older brother's friends, and he became like super right wing, and I see his arguments, dude. And the thing I said is, okay, Kenneth just mentioned he ran towards the police with a fucking gun in his hand, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Dude, that's the fucking point.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
the point right there.
Correct.
If that's a black man, who
Dead on sight.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
I heard that fool did hand signs to the police as he was walking up to him.
Actually, if you see the images right now, like that was I put that one on purpose. That like sign he does right there. I think that's it right there.
Yeah.
It's something
Yeah,
that they
but
taught him before he went out.
Even if it's a sign that the police don't know him, like
Right, they don't know him, but they know these again. Like he learned this shit as a kid. Like they've been doing
Yeah.
this their whole lives, so like he knows how to communicate. Again, the Ku Klux Klan, the Freemasons, they all have symbols and hand signs, and
Correct.
this is true. This is true.
yeah,
This is true. But it's just
they
a-
work without speaking.
Yeah, but it's that, and also the way the media, the slide that you have there portrays him. Like
Like a hero.
afterwards, they just fucking put him like cleaning graffiti, like painting this nice
Correct.
picture. Like, dude, like come on, what the fuck?
No dirt on him whatsoever.
What the
And
fuck?
did you see the
He
video?
was like, isn't
and
he
did you s-
17 or some
yeah.
shit?
And
Yeah.
did you see the
What's he
video that
doing with the
resurfaced? Did you see the video that surfaced of him beating up on a female?
No.
So there's also a video.
Why don't we have this to show us?
Parking lot. Sorry, there's a video. It's a parking lot outside of his school, and there's someone arguing with a female, and he gets himself involved. And then as they're arguing with her, the young lady, they kind of get into a tussle. So there's two young ladies getting into a tussle. He runs up behind the two and starts wailing on the girl, just
Wow.
completely. And then there were I'm getting to the good part. He starts
Oh,
wailing
no.
on her. Starts wailing on her, and the people that were recording everything that was going on, they knew him. They're like, "Oh, Kyle, fuck no!" And you can hear it in the video. "Oh, fuck no, Kyle!" And they all get up out of their cars, and dude, it must have been like, maybe like 6 or 8 people stomped this fool out.
No
What?
fucking
Yup.
way.
They whooped his ass.
Hell yeah.
They kicked
Hell
his
yeah.
ass something god awful. Yeah, because
Hell
he was
yeah.
beating up on somebody, like
Yeah.
defenseless. Like, what are you doing? Let the girls handle it.
Yeah.
If it got to fisticuffs and they're doing their thing, let them do their thing, bro.
That's probably
You know
where
what I
that rage came from, though. Him and his dude. He wasn't even from that city. He literally drove there to go
Half an
defend
hour.
the business. He didn't even fucking
He
know.
drove a half an hour.
Yeah.
They're exaggerating the fact that he drove across state lines, but let's be honest, over there, like they're so close together, it's not that crazy.
But
He
even
drove
then,
30 minutes.
If you're gonna drive half an hour out of your way to fucking go do something, like you're there to do something, you know?
But that's and so a lot of people were saying were like, you don't just get a firearm like that and go out to a city to defend a store that you've never been to.
Yeah.
Let's not create this narrative that he was, defending property or
Mhm.
defending, storefronts or anything like that. Like he went out there hoping that he would get to use this toy because
Yeah.
he's 17. Because he's fucking 17.
And where was the other people he was with?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a
Around
good question. That's
somewhere?
a very good
No, because
question.
if he was
I don't
there
know.
solo, that's suspicious.
Yeah.
It's a little suspect. You
Yeah.
know what? That's a good question. I should like to find out more about that. Excellent question.
Videos where he's with like a whole group of people that are there.
Right. But I don't know if they went there together or if they were people he met there.
But still, like, it's still crazy. Like, why is he at that point solo? Like, it's almost
Yeah.
like he was on a mission.
But
Right.
also, isn't he part of?
There
Also,
should be
I saw
other dudes
somewhere
with guns there.
Yeah.
that he was on a part of a Facebook militia, like a group,
Yeah.
a group that
And
you know
I think I read
openly
this-
said
he-
that they were gonna go there.
Yeah. He was able to drive home with his weapons, right? Like the cops didn't do shit.
My guy,
Oh,
my guy got to leave the
I wouldn't
scene.
believe- I
He
wouldn't
got to
believe
sleep
the
in his
scene,
bed
yeah.
that night,
Yeah. He
which
slept
is
in his bed.
bullshit.
Like they didn't even take
It's
his
such
fucking guns away.
bullshit, dude.
Like
So you're talking about a guy who had a
potential
weapon
murder
in his
investigation.
hand that you know, and that other witnesses were screaming
Mhm.
that he killed 2 people already.
Mhm.
He's shot and killed 2 people, and the police officers were like, "All right, come on over here, dude. Hey, did you do that?
Yeah.
You did that shit? Do me a favor,
Exactly.
go home, because it's gonna be tough for you tomorrow. So
Yeah.
get some good night rest, because you might not have some tomorrow."
And yet
Like,
Blake
straight up.
allegedly had
Thanks
a
for
knife.
helping.
And then he got shot 7 times in the back.
Didn't
That's
the police
terrible.
take one guy to Burger King after he killed some people?
I don't know about that one. I didn't
No, yeah,
hear
no,
that
no.
nor saw that, so I
All
can't.
it is because Burger King didn't support the Trump campaign.
Oh, damn.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, this one was like 3 years ago or something.
Oh, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. No, I don't know about that one. And just for the record, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and backtrack a little bit.
Okay.
That family that I told you about that thought they were Italian, turns out they were Swiss.
Wow.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Heather, for texting me that information. I love you, boo.
Wow, Nice. It's gonna
They
be about
were
chocolate now. That's
from
his identity now.
Switzerland.
About chocolate.
Switzerland.
Okay.
That's totally different.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's way
Yeah,
different.
isn't that wild though?
Speaking of Swiss, I was in Solvang today.
Hey,
Hey, nice. Nice.
how was that?
Nice. It was cool.
Yeah, chill vibe out there.
Yeah.
All right,
A
for
lot
sure.
of fucking people.
Is that right?
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
A lot of people.
I would have. Wow, that's
Shit
crazy.
was packed.
Oh, okay. It is a Sunday. It is
It is
Susia
a
Sunday.
Sunday.
Hey.
Is it a Swiss town or is it a German town?
It's Dutch.
It's Dutch.
Mm, okay.
It is Dutch,
All right.
okay.
Okay.
So it's like northern German tribe.
Okay.
For
okay,
sure.
okay. Nice.
All right. I see you.
And then the Dutch, if you know a little bit of history, those fools owned slaves and had plantations in the East Coast.
Ooh,
Oh, wild.
Not okay.
Yeah.
Wild. Damn.
Yeah.
You just
then-
can't have a good time around here, can
And then
you?
They also have a tradition
Fuck
too where they wear
me.
blackface and play music.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really?
But that's another episode.
Is it though?
Let's
We've got
talk
10
about the
minutes.
Dutch.
That was it. Just a little bit of things people can look up.
But
For
this is something
sure.
that still happened in like this century in the U.S. party
Correct.
With blackface. That's fucking awful, dude.
You know what's
Uh.
funny? Can I be honest? Like, I can't speak too much on it. Obviously, like I'm not black, but
you are.
Robert Downey Jr.
You're Native American, you're black.
Robert Downey
Character.
Jr.'s character in Tropic Thunder. I don't care what anybody says. It's hilarious. That was good. I thought that was funny
But I think
because he's
everyone-
purposely like
He's doing it like
he's making fun of that
Yeah.
and how Hollywood does that. So I found it hilarious on
That's
that
a-
level.
yeah. That's why. Yeah.
It's bold, but it's also look at how old he plays the character. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not modern, it's old, and like you get me? It's that's to me it's comedic gold, and
Oh,
and he
shit.
got a lot of shit about it.
That's
like
what-
a lot of
But
shit.
he still got a pass though. Everyone gave him a pass because
Correct.
of that. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's playing Australian guy playing black, and he's a methodic actor, right? He's a method actor, and he doesn't break character.
Still though, like if someone handed me a script, I wouldn't take that shit. Like regardless, I don't know how he took that shit. Like they were like, okay, here's your script. You're gonna be playing a guy that's blackface, that's Australian.
Well,
And
I mean,
was like,
Ben Stiller did do a person who's mentally handicapped.
Oh,
Correct.
that's true.
He went, hey, he went, quote unquote, he went full retard.
Yeah.
That is true.
You don't,
So,
you don't
like-
ever go full retard.
So Ben Stiller's probably like, "Yo, bro, don't trip. What I'm gonna do is this.
Hey, don't
So
even
what
trip, bro.
you're gonna
Everybody's
do-
gonna be watching me do this dumb shit.
You're gonna slide right underneath here. Don't worry about it."
Fucking simple Jack, bro.
And then he got the
Oh
other
my
homie who was like, "Well, I can
God.
show you some booty sweat right now." Like, his character
Oh, I
was
forgot
funny.
about booty sweat. I love that.
Bust a Nut. That was a great movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I think they covered their angles.
So many. You had Jack Black as a heroin addict.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just. It was so good. That movie was great. Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta piss. That's
Yeah,
how you
for
do it. You gotta piss
real.
everybody off. If you talk shit just about one group, that's hate.
No, that's bad.
Talk shit about
all
groups,
of them.
it's
All
free
of them.
range. You're
Yeah.
good. Yeah, you're good.
I mean, just look at all
It's just
the.
critiques after that.
Just look at all the racial, like jokes that came from like the Rush Hour movies, dude. Like how many things did they make fun of each other? You know what I mean? Like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker throughout fucking what 4 movies?
Yeah.
Four
Was there
movies? I think they
thought
did
it was just
4.
3.
3? Really?
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
I think it was 3.
Oh, you know what? You know what, guys? I'm sorry. I have to apologize because somebody made a meme for Rush Hour 4 starring Jeremy Lin and Kobe Bryant.
Wow.
My bad, bro. My bad. My
That
bad.
can happen
That's
now.
where I remember seeing Rush Hour 4.
That's a good punchline.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. You gotta keep it light sometime.
Yeah.
This conversation was mega serious.
Man, so we were talking about Australia, the 140 kids.
140
Oh, that's
children
right.
found. That is too many.
That's right.
That's too many.
That is incredible.
And that's just what they found.
Yeah.
Right? That's just what we know about.
Mhm.
Like how many things are going unnoticed? You
Yeah,
know?
man.
And what if they do have other cases that they know about, but they're not telling us?
Right?
It's
Because
too
there
much.
has to
It'll
be.
too much for the people.
It has to be way too much for the
Yeah,
people.
just this month also, we didn't talk about it the last time, but I wish I could remember his name. But they extradited from another country a trafficking kingpin that was mainly dominant in trafficking Romanian children and like mail order like wives. But he was like a kingpin for Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. And this was supposed to be huge news, but like no one covered it. And the only reason why I found out was because I follow this like Spanish news channel on IG, and they were covering it, but it got like no coverage here, which is fucking insane.
Man.
Is that it? That's it right there.
I mean, COVID is a fucking cover, bro.
Yeah.
That's
You hit it.
crazy.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and this
Our kids in the fucking cages.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this one was a huge deal because he's a kingpin in 3 countries. Like that's fucking insane.
I've seen so many videos where they take like sting operations, and so they bring these guys in and they're like, oh, you know how old are the girls, you know, and they start talking about. They're so fucking cavalier about the conversation, dude.
Mhm.
So cavalier about the conversation. Oh, don't worry, dude. We've got one. Oh, do you have virgins? Oh yeah, we've got virgins. No
Mhm.
worries, we'll make sure. Right, like untouched. And they're like, oh, how much for untouched? And just the way that they just go about it, you know, like it's just a business transaction. Like so simple. You swear that these guys are fucking dealing cars. Like
Yeah.
it's just so easy for them. Like no remorse whatsoever that they're talking about a life, right? Like a life. That's fucking wild.
And then supposedly, or allegedly, Hillary Clinton and Obama is using FBI emails, setting up these events
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
inside the White House.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where there will
And
be hot
outside.
dogs and pizza and
Correct.
yeah.
Thousands and thousands of dollars on pizza.
And then there's videos allegedly on Podesta's computer.
Anthony Weiner.
Anthony Weiner.
Weiner.
my bad.
Anthony Weiner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
Wiener,
and
Podesta, you name it,
that's
they're
a
all part of it.
huge one that we're still waiting on.
So-
And even if you
Right.
don't believe that there was something on that laptop, 9 of those police officers that were on that case committed suicide. Like, why committed suicide? Like, even if you don't believe it, you have to admit that's super suspicious.
Exactly.
Like 9 out of the 12, like that's impossible. Like something had to have happened where they were like trying to come out with what was on the laptop, and they just like
Right.
they offed them, you know?
Right. Yep.
Three
Yeah.
big,
I
three.
think with Epstein, he had too many names. You think he really killed himself?
Yeah,
Nah.
no, hell. And then magically, the camera magically turned off. It was like, what the fuck?
So much. There's
Yeah.
just so much.
And then also too, I found out supposedly Avicii was talking about
Yep.
Mhm.
child trafficking.
Yeah, he had a
Yep.
music video.
As was it
the dude from Linkin Park?
Linkin Park? Yeah, Chester.
Yeah.
Chester.
And then his homie Cornell was also.
Chris Cornell as
Yeah.
He
well.
had a foundation for
Uh-huh.
that.
Mm-hmm.
They were coming out with the documentary.
Isaac
Yes.
Cappy was
Yeah.
an actor. Isaac Cappy, he was another person who blew up,
Whistleblowers.
exposing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seth,
And
he said Seth Green for sure. His homie, he said he's doing that shit.
Yeah.
And I can
Yeah, I heard
you said Seth Green,
Seth
so like
Green.
Little Redhead.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can totally see that.
And it's weird because
Sucks. 'Cause I
Allegedly.
like a lot of
when
his shit.
when they were going over like the perks and shit that they get, he was, and one of the like the reasons why he was trying to pull him in there is because they get to drive a new car every month. I was like, what the fuck? How is that even like a incentive to do that kind of shit? You know, it just makes no sense to me.
Real quick, shout out to Tusk in the chat.
So whoop.
He said Dylan Rowe killed a bunch of people in a black church. When the cops took him in gracefully, they took him to Burger King because
That was Tusk?
Tusk is saying that.
Nice.
What? No.
Dylan Roth was
way.
on an open fire on a church.
Good shit, Tusk.
Wow.
What
Thank
the
you, Tusk.
Fuck, man. That is fucking crazy.
For those of you that don't know, Tusky Baby is a co-host on Super Audio Network Playtime with
What's
Eddie
up,
and
bro?
I, and we like having a good time over there playing video games.
Nice.
But thank you for that, Tusk. Appreciate it,
You're a
man.
champion, right?
Correct, current. until they have another VGO, I'm reigning champion. You hear that,
Champion,
Ramirez?
what are you guys playing out there?
You hear that, Jimmy? I hope you heard it. You son of a bitch. Know your place. Number 2. Okay, like a shit.
Oh.
You're number 2. All right, feces, my friend, feces.
So, crack the knuckles. So back to what we were saying.
It's crazy because a lot of people don't accept this information that we all have stumbled upon, so to speak, and they refuse it. They don't think that things like that can exist.
Mhm.
Again, because
Shatters their world.
it just because it's never happened to them or to anyone around them, and so because it hasn't hit home, they don't believe. And it's unfortunate because so much change could be made if we all just did a little digging and a little research, and if we all tried a little harder. But so often we see something, and though it might seem ridiculous, we just kind of like, there's no fucking way that's happening, right? Like, there's no way. Like, I'll give you an example. Flat Earth came out. I entertained the idea. I did. I still don't know where I sit on that just yet because I have personally never been to space or to the ice wall in Antarctica. I've never seen that for myself, right? Like, they just keep going back and forth, these arguments, right? All these things that are happening. The planet is too massive for me to ever know, and for
When
all
look
I
out
know,
the plane, I don't see no curve.
you get me? Like, this is so again, right? Like, I have not done the sciences, right? All I can do is read the writings of other people. That's all I can really do, and form an opinion based on that. But it's really hard. And even then, there are people who are dead set Earth is flat, dead set Earth is round, and there's no convincing either or otherwise. And I'm happy being the type of person that might every once in a while think one and maybe the other. Because you have to adapt, dude. You have to. And if people were to be more receptive to outlandish and ridiculous ideas, then maybe we could all be in the same reality. Because we got a lot of red pill people out there, but there's a shit ton of blue pill folk. So much.
It does, and what's crazy too, like all these people who don't want to believe anything or look into anything or do any type of research, it's like they're all headed to AI no matter what. They're gonna get smacked in the face sooner or later. Like,
And that's what this year has been doing to people. It's just that people are slow to wake up, you know? It happens,
yeah.
unfortunately.
But it's beautiful to see so many people waking up to
Yeah.
things here and there. It's great.
especially minorities.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. The only problem with that is in the midst of the awakening, a lot of the awakening is being done by, for lack of a better word, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, by like racists. You know?
And it's horrible to be woken up like that.
Yeah.
That's been a reality for many years.
And it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks big time. Like, that's one of my hugest. I'm not saying that if you're a Trump supporter, you're a racist, but a lot of those.
Racists
Yeah.
are Trump supporters.
Right.
A lot of.
It's just a
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But the thing too with me is that we can't fight racism with more racism. Right. That much
Yeah.
is fact. You've got, you see certain people, and you want to automatically judge them just by their appearance, and you're no better than they are.
And
You're just not.
And like, I want a racist to be racist to my face. Like I can respect that.
Mm.
Like there's the Republican side where like you know where they stand,
Mhm.
and then you got the Democratic side where they hide their racism, they smile in your face,
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
they use you
Mm.
for their advantage.
For sure.
Well, I can tell you firsthand going to like
And I don't
Arizona.
like that shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Are you racist, my face?
right? So that's where like you know,
That's respect. Like, hey, thank you.
mm-hmm.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
Spit on my face.
And then at the end you're like, oh, I love you, dog. Don't trip.
That's right, bro.
Yeah.
That's why actually there's been an outcry to make a third major party already. Like,
Should happen.
fuck Democrats, fuck Republicans. We need a new party.
Should have been happened already.
Yeah,
This
and-
bipartisan bullshit is
Green
like.
Party.
Dude,
Yeah.
what fucking cracked me in the head was the whole Bernie Sanders getting blown out by his own the DNC.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he got the dirty.
I'm like, what?
That was
the
dirty.
Fuck?
Yeah.
You knew he had
I
it.
thought America was going
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders all
Yeah.
the way. I thought.
We all thought that.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
But I think the thing is though is that they gotta keep the playing field even. So it's like they've got to do two Republican terms and then bring it back and do 2 Democratic terms, and that's just kind of like the deal they all signed. And so this
Mhm.
is all just kind of like the game that they're playing, right? So I, for one, will not be surprised no matter what I put on that ballot that good old Trumpy is gonna have another term in office.
For sure.
Like, I just feel that, and if you're gonna ask me if I have to choose between Trump and Biden,
Trump,
Ah.
eating a church sandwich, and being the Bible.
I mean,
And
fuck.
it's crazy because all these people that are saying defund the police are like, yeah, like vote for Biden, and Biden wants to put more money into the police. Like it's like
They've
they
don't
don't
their
even-
parties muddled up.
Dude,
Yeah,
Kamala
yes.
Harris, she fucking put
Correct.
so many people.
So
in
many
jail.
she
Biden
incarcerated
wrote
so
the crime
many.
bill.
For weed, dude.
Yeah,
for
for
weed.
weed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Tusky Baby sent me a cool picture, and it is a flat Earth.
No,
It's a flat Earth
no,
diagram,
No.
and it says, "If you can see the moon from here, then you can also see the sun from here." And it's pointing to 2 different sides of the flat Earth. Has anyone ever seen the sun in the dead of night? Thought not. Flat Earth debunked.
Yes. Good.
Where's my
Good
camera?
mugging. Good.
There has been
Yeah.
times
Right here?
where I trip out or like I see
Right
the
here?
moon in the daytime and then I see it at nighttime. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Daytime.
Because I'm like, I thought the other.
Has there been the opposite?
Uh,
'Cause that's, I would think that's natural, right? The transition from daylight to nighttime, with the moon coming in and the sun going out.
Good.
There would have to be a transition there. Have you seen it the other way around?
Yeah, but
Mm.
I trip out because
you
I.
guys gotta be careful what you wish for. 2020 is not done yet.
Oh,
Oh,
Serious shit,
fuck.
dude. God
Shit.
damn it.
No,
Shit.
no, but like
Is it gonna be Rick and Morty's son?
Yeah.
Ah!
no, but I had this thought in my mind. I'm like, if I have the moon all day and all night, somebody else is missing out on the moon. Like, what the fuck?
Mm.
They don't got. They don't have the moon
True.
for them.
There's
True.
moonless nights sometimes.
Yeah,
It's crazy, man. Well,
that's why I love LA. I got the moon 24/7.
there it is. There it is. Speaking of LA, go Clippers. Woo! Had to fit that in.
Dude, what the
Closeted
fuck
again.
was up with that bullshit ass boycott, man? The flip flopping ass. Kyrie Irving was right. He was like, we shouldn't even be playing, man. It's a distraction.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
and then they all made fun of that fool and told that fool, shut up, Hotep.
No.
It's because he's a flat earther, fool. That's why.
Oh, that too.
He discredited himself by saying that.
And
he
he's
came
Native,
out with
and
it.
he's Native American.
True.
Fuck.
Yeah, Kyrie
true.
Irving's Native American.
Trip out. Trip out.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
man.
I heard. So it was crazy because, and we'll try to wrap this up really quick. But supposedly, LeBron James led, the Lakers, and they got together with other teams, and they decided that they weren't going to play. That was the first. That's a story that broke first. But then sources like Woj came out and said that actually wasn't the truth. That in fact the Bucks were the first ones to come out and say that they didn't want to play, and because of their statement to the press, kind of put the rest of the teams that are involved in the playoffs right now kind of in a bind. So if one team decides not to participate, what does that do to the tournament? Can't keep the tournament on if one of the teams is not participating. So we need to sit down and we need to talk about this. So then they bowed out, right? Because technically speaking, it's a good PR move. It's the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But my understanding, and this is from Woj, and you know if it's from Woj that it ain't bullshit. Woj said that witnesses that he reported that people said that LeBron James left a meeting visibly upset because they were still going to postpone the games for 2 more days.
Wow.
No shit.
That's from Woj.
Wow.
So I don't know what that says about
And then
LeBron James.
LeBron James had that brand new ass Malcolm X book. No
You know,
creases.
Wow.
No creases whatsoever. Reading
They
the
asked him
intro,
about the book,
reading
and
the
he was
intro
like,
page
yeah,
like
it
always.
was a
was
good
great.
man.
Wow.
I had it while I had a glass of wine with my children.
So one of the things that I have heard about what happened in that meeting was that a lot of the NBA teams are going to open up their stadiums to as a voting poll, like as a voting booth.
Sexy.
So Staples Center is going to have an open voting booth in there, and I think other teams are doing the same thing. So
That's nice.
It did come to that.
That's nice.
They came into a compromise, like, yo, let's play, but like all the stadiums that all the teams belong to is going to be an open voting booth.
That's
Nice.
smart.
Alright.
So smart.
They did something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Step one completed.
That's big.
There's go to step two.
And I mean, and you want to talk about like keeping politics out of sports, but look at what they've done.
Right?
That's clutch.
Oh, you know,
Maybe it's
you know what? No,
programmed.
fuck all that.
Maybe this is how.
Mm.
Because check this out with the whole coronavirus shit.
Right.
I didn't take it serious until the NBA got canceled.
Oh,
I'm not even fucking around.
Yeah.
When they shut down the NBA, I went, oh fuck,
Oh.
it's real! Oh shit, it's real!
Oh, shit!
Aisha!
Gobert! Gobert has it. Fuck!
Yeah, fucking go bear!
Oh, Russ got it too. God damn it!
Yeah,
that's true. Now you have
and now they're still, like, come on, man. Black and Hispanic people aren't gonna pay attention to white people. They're gonna pay attention to the fools
Our
in the sport,
athletes.
right? Who we
Mhm.
look up to.
Our
Mhm.
athletes,
Yeah.
our fucking,
Mhm.
our guys.
He's trying to, it's like they try to tell us Tom Hanks had it. We're like,
Because
all
we're
right.
in Rome 2.0.
Ooh,
Nah,
all right.
Toys can't get COVID.
He already did the last Toy Story. It's
Hey, but
cool.
fuck Donald Trump, as always, he shoots himself in the foot. He says that sports shouldn't get fucking involved in politics. Yet 2 days later, Dana White comes out endorsing Donald Trump,
Yeah.
mentioning how Donald Trump made it possible for sports to come back and bring some happiness to the world.
That's why
So-
streaming shit for free.
So fuck
Mm.
Trump, fuck UFC, boycott that shit. Oh, fuck Dana White, because I don't think all the athletes agree. But yeah, fuck them.
Dude,
Yeah.
that whole Goya Beans saga was fucking
Yeah,
fun.
what the fuck,
That shit was
man?
weird,
That
dude.
shit was weird. What the fuck?
Oh, just I'm telling you, dude. Everything is so fucking divisive. Every piece of information that comes out, I look at it like, I just don't know what to believe.
But-
I just don't know.
But as someone who's been Democrat my whole life, it feels weird and it hurts me to see people being so angry against Donald Trump. Like the anger portion
Mm.
is out of control. The
Mm.
emotional
Mm.
is like out of whack. Like make your points. And
Yeah.
yes, you're 100% correct. But once
Right.
you start getting all raw, it's like whoa, like tone it down. You're getting scary.
Yeah.
Like you're starting to look like them.
Violence begets violence, right? Like, and so people who want to, argue and fight like that, like that's just how they're gonna go about their ways. But I mean, we need to be able to have dialogue, like I said earlier, and just have
Mhm.
conversations. Period.
I want. We're
I-
the people. We're the people of peace and talking things out, man.
I hope so, but that doesn't always work, So, but it's
I'm the one smoking weed. Come on, man.
2020.
Come on. Come on, man.
God damn it, dude! Like,
Come on, man.
Just
can't wait, right? Just
Come
just
on,
old
man.
as fuck, sitting there in the rocket chair. Oh, come on, man! Again,
Bro.
damn. Seriously, the Clippers won a 16th championship. God damn it! Again. A guy can dream, can he?
Hey,
A guy
baby.
can dream.
Mhm.
Actually,
only in America.
I got to witness.
Can you
I
have
got, I,
a
got to
dream?
I got to witness on a group chat a Clipper fan and a Laker fan really arguing and just really going back and forth at each other, and it was fucking quite. It
Hilarious.
was quite magical. Yeah, it was.
Nice.
It was good.
Some caveman
It was
shit.
good. No, it was on some real shit. I'll just say that Dre was involved, and Dre and just saying it was Dre. It was Dre. So Dre. Hats off to you, Dre. By the way, Marvel Studios. That's all.
Can we talk about some positive things we got going on around in 2020?
There you
Talk
go.
to me. Tell me something good.
End of show
We got
positivity.
end the show on positivity. We got
I have AIDS. Not just kidding.
oh shit.
Bernie's positive.
We got the Mike Tyson fight coming up.
Hey!
Which I didn't think I would be able to witness a Mike Tyson fight as a grown up, being able to order that shit.
Nice.
That's gonna be fucking fantastic. And also Bill and Ted. The new Bill and Ted
Oh.
is fucking dope.
Is it? Is it?
It's so good.
Oh,
It
I
is
have it on
so
good authority
good. It
now.
came out
I'm gonna
already.
watch it.
You can rent it. It's like $20, but you can rent it.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
One of
Dude.
One of my favorite things is that one cutting line. I won't say here, in spoil it for everybody, but yeah, it's good.
Yes, it is so
It's
good,
a-
man.
It's a, you know what? It's one of those like if you want. Also, Cobra Kai is now on Netflix. So if you haven't seen Cobra Kai,
Oh, I heard that's good
so
too.
To me, it's kind of like the Bill and Ted.
Yeah, yeah.
Since you see it, I don't know if you agree. It's like the right amount of cheesy.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure. The perfect amount.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Extra queso, my friend. Por favor.
But yeah, Bernie said to turn off the TV earlier, and here we are.
I know.
No,
Turn
no,
the- turn
We're
the
on the-
tube back on.
We're on the internet now. The internet
That's right,
is by
that's right.
choice.
Right,
The
correct,
television is
correct.
programmed television.
That is right.
That is how they got
True.
us in this mess.
Viacom.
We're in
Yeah.
this mess right now in 2020 because of the television
True.
Yeah.
and radio.
True. Damn. You. Yeah.
program
I
does.
guess we're not radio.
It's
right? We're
all
not radio.
even with our movies. If you
No.
look back
We're
into all the
internet.
movies, like all the science fiction movies,
Mm.
we're living it right now. It's fucking predictive programming.
We don't got flying cars though yet, bro. I'm mad about that shit.
I think we do.
Do we?
Someone just
Yeah,
tested.
we
Yeah.
got hover
Someone
cars.
just tested their first
They're
flying
like-
car. I think it was
yeah.
Japan.
Oh,
They're like
shit.
they're like
Like
they're
it
like
just happened.
Oh wait, yeah.
Right?
They're like
Oh,
drones.
2020,
Yeah,
this
shoot the fuck is this flying car?
I'm just excited they're building Gundam suits out there. It's like I'm
It's
super stoked
that's
on that
happened.
shit.
It's real.
It's happening. It is real. It's
Japan,
like,
it's real. It's
Yeah.
like they've got chainsaws and
fucking
shit on
love
the end of their
Japan.
arms. Like it's fucking wild. Like, and it's for entertainment right now. It's so crazy.
Yeah,
so
man.
crazy.
just because they can, you know, to
Exactly.
do that shit.
Exactly.
Hey, positivity. Don't steer that way.
Yeah. Let's not fucking go Jurassic Park in this bitch. All right, fucking.
Yeah, I love China.
Oh my God! Thank you guys so much for coming on today.
Of course.
Thank you for being in studio today and doing a Deuce episode with us, a redo of Now That's 2020.
I apologize for my 1980
That was so
connection in the
good.
last episode.
The good thing is that we've got Bernie on a 2020 connection this
Yeah.
week, so that was fun. Thank you.
My car passed smog yesterday, so
Ah, yeah! And the 2020 positivity. Woo! We're gonna end on that. We're gonna end on that focal point. I want to thank everybody in studio today. Thank you so much, Bryant, junior producer
Thank
Bryant,
you.
for sharing his opinions today. Thank you so much, Kenneth, for coming in and being
course.
here with us today. Please tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me at Loverboy Official on all platforms. Head there. Yeah.
And that's LVR, ladies.
LVR.
LVR.
BOY.
B-O-Y. The guy makes great music. Music. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this man some
Yes,
followers
man,
here.
taken.
Okay? Dude. Oh, did you? Well done, Brian. Well done. Bernie, thank you so much for being in studio. Greatly appreciate you, my
Yes,
friend.
sir. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime, my man. Anytime. You need only ask, and we shall open up the doors. But I gotta ask. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen you on the socials. Are you
haven't.
taking
I
a
enjoyed your
sabbatical?
post. What happened?
I am off the socials forever.
Okay.
Forever.
Forever.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
So am I gonna have to call and text now to get those awesome pictures
Yes.
and memes?
Or you know what? Like I'm gonna do like YouTube shit like that.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to make a legit YouTube
Nice.
channel for
Alright.
You should.
my life.
And be educational with a
Yeah.
green screen behind you, and
I'm
get
down
and
going
get
on
the
that
people
with you.
learnt.
That'd be
I will
dope.
subscribe.
Yeah.
I will join that tribe and subscribe
For
for
sure.
sure.
For how long? Forever? How long we have it? You know, because you know,
For sure, dude.
YouTube's having crazy shit. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
They deleted a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now your shit. Let's go, baby.
Hey.
Yeah, we still here. We
But
live.
yeah,
You can't
but
delete
yeah,
live.
No social media, but catch me playing a show with Bomb Thread as soon as shit starts
Hey.
cracking.
Let's go.
After the
Yeah.
election.
Hey.
After the election, of course, it's gonna have to be.
Thank you, Eddie Nags, for putting this all together, sir, and encouraging us to run this episode back. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram as Eddie_Nags, Twitter, Eddie Nags all together, and in about 45 minutes on News Across the Galaxy.
Woo!
Woo!
Let's go.
My name is King of Mediocrity Martinez. You can find me on Instagram at Deep Sleep Daydreamer and a similar handle on Twitter once they get their fucking act together. You can also catch me on Playtime with Eddie and our hosts Eddie, Dre, and Tusk every other Friday, soon to be every Friday, where we play some games and fuck some people up, or rather, actually, honestly, get ourselves fucked up. Truthfully. Everybody's been kicking our ass lately. Thank you, everybody that joined us on live on the chat. Thank you, everyone who watches the episode
Thank you.
after we've aired,
Yes.
because I've got some good feedback midweek from a couple people. So
Nice.
thank you so much for reaching
Nice.
out and supporting what we do. Please catch us on our next episode. And until then,
One thing I always forget too is we also are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all your streaming services. So if you want to show this to anybody, they can listen to while they drive, while they run.
Nice. Nice.
Thank you everyone for listening, and as I always say, hang in there, we're almost there. We're gonna be all right. Bernie, gonna be all right.
yeah.